much in this part, but Leah is a type 1 diabetic. So I wanted to, we have a couple of type 1 diabetics here, and I wanted to get you, like, your opinion on your struggles.
Yeah.
And especially for training, energy levels, you know, just the general, what would you, like, what recommendations would you give, and just basically how have you managed it even, like?
Yeah, like I was diagnosed at the age of 4, and the first symptoms I got were basically I was getting really bad eczema.
Okay.
And I would be down playing in the front garden, and I'd sit down, and we live on a hill, and I wouldn't have the energy to walk up the hill.
No way.
Like, be bouncing on the trampoline, and then I'd be sitting there crying. My mum used to have to come down and pick me up and then walk me up the hill and be like, what is wrong with it?
Yeah.
So anyway, my older cousin had it, and they just suspected maybe I did, so got diagnosed with it at the age of 4.
Is that hereditary? We're just off track a little bit.
It can be.
Okay.
It can be an immune system thing as well.
Okay.
We're halfway between thinking maybe like the viral infection that I got with the eczema may have caused it.
Wow.
Or it could have been genetic through
Okay.
the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always guess I got it at a good age because I hadn't started school.
Right.
You know, I was in play school at the time, so I had to learn to cope.
Yeah.
Go throughout school, and with the social pressure, and of course you're going to go through all those insecurities of having to take your injection. Like, I have to take an injection if my blood sugars are high, or if I'm taking carbohydrates in.
Yeah.
And sometimes with protein too, because on the sciencey side of things, protein can get
Insulinogenic.
converted into
insulin.
It can get converted into sugar through a process called gluconeogenesis in your system. It depends.
So from the so I was saying converted into insulin, but from the point of view, protein can be insulinogenic. Sorry.
Yeah.
And but how does that affect you then?
So for me, I personally have always followed quite a low carb diet.
Okay.
I find it easier to maintain an even keel on my blood sugars as a result. But because it's so low carb, my body does cry out for the need of sugar.
Yes.
As a result, so my liver tends to process my protein intake and turn it out as sugar.
As sugar, well,
system.
yeah.
So I do have to cater for that, or account for that
Yeah.
in my insulin injections.
Okay.
I always look at getting diagnosed as a blessing in disguise.
Right.
Because I don't think I'd be as interested in nutrition and its effect on our system.
Yeah.
If I wasn't.
Yeah.
I always played sport throughout my whole life. I played hockey for West Leinster and
Wow.
played with the team, played Gaelic.
This is new to me. I didn't know this. Yeah. She's just showing off now. She's showing off. What else did you do?
If you want to sign me.
Yeah.
I did. I played hockey at a competitive level, and I played Gaelic with Kildare, and
Brilliant.
always was really involved in team sports. And found that every time I played, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
Trying to manage the adrenaline of sport,
Yeah.
stress,
Of course, yeah.
exhaustion afterwards.
Yeah.
So the hydration was really big.
Yeah.
Getting in your carbs around your training time was really, really big.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to, say, okay, we've looked at the macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats. We've looked at, we know you're a type 1 diabetic. So you're going to play a match, okay? Now, how often do you first of all, do you inject? So Leah would.
Yeah.
So what do you inject first of all?
So I inject, it's called a long-acting insulin, and
Okay.
it's Tresiba is the name
Okay.
of the insulin I'm on.
Yeah.
And basically that accounts for any kind of hormonal fluctuations in my blood sugar throughout the day.
Okay.
And throughout night time. So that's kind of a background insulin that covers all the ins and outs of my own system.
Yeah.
And then I take Novorapid, which is a fast-acting insulin that acts on my meals, so my protein or my carbohydrates.
Okay.
So depending on my meal frequency, it could be 3 to 5 times a day I'm injecting.
Okay.
And
going back to playing Gaelic or hurling, or sorry, camogie, what did you say it was?
Hurling?
No, not hurling, sorry. Camogie, was it?
Hockey.
Hockey, sorry, my apologies.
You're grand.
When you played, we should have rehearsed this before. When you played hockey, so I played sports at a terrible level, okay? So even though I played sports, the nerves would be at you.
Yeah.
Maybe your blood sugars would drop a little bit. So how did you combat that? So I'm trying to relate this. One or two of our clients here at Ignite are type 1 diabetic, and a couple of type 2s. But for the type 1, how did you combat eating, first of all? And how did you combat the nerves and stuff like that?
So it's actually interesting because it relates to everyone. It's just obviously, as diabetics, we feel it that bit more, and we have to get it under control ourselves. We're our own computer, whereas hopefully, like you guys, you have your own little inside computers. We have to work ours from the outside. But I find with the kind of the adrenaline, the stress, the nerves, everything like that, it can affect you in one way or another. It depends on you as a diabetic. For me, it used to send my blood sugars quite high.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it used to kind of push sugar out into my system, and my bloods would go high. What would happen is, over the course of 3 hours, my blood sugars would plummet after playing. It's like the adrenaline, the cortisol, all the stress hormones in your system stop. They come down, obviously, after a match.
Yeah.
And then your system's like, whoa, I'm knackered.
You'd crash.
And crash.
Yeah.
Crash. You get tired. You get, low blood sugars where you have to eat more carbohydrates to get your blood sugars back up.
So I'm thinking from the point of view of, let's say we have, say, 3 classes on a day, the MCX at 6:15, 9:30 and 7.
Okay.
So if you are type 1 and you're going to be training, okay, your matches will be a little bit different. So if any soccer players or Gaelic or whatever sport you play, how did you fuel pre, post, and most importantly, did you fuel during your intra training?
For diabetics or
for you
before my match or whatever, I'd be always monitoring my blood sugars.
Yeah.
And I'd always find my blood sugars were a little bit high. I always use insulin to bring my blood sugars back down, but prior to a match I wouldn't, because I'd know long term that obviously it was going to come down itself. Normally it depends on the range. If they're above 15, you don't take any extra food, but if they're about 12, I might take half a unit of insulin, which will be about 5 to 10 grams of carbohydrates.
Okay.
This is I don't want to be prescribing.
No, this is only from exactly.
But for me myself, that's what works.
Exactly, yeah. And this is exactly what we're talking about. It's only from this point of view, from type 1. It's only Leah's take on it, because we do have 1 or 2 people here, like we were saying, at type 1, and after training, especially after a big session, be it they checking their, I don't know, I'm checking my watch, but checking their insulin levels, and some of them can't drive. Because on their back, exactly,
absolutely. And that's it. It's just consistently monitor your blood sugars. Because like I say, hormones affect everybody differently. So you'd always check before a match, check during a match, and check after a match. And according to what your blood sugars were, you would eat or not eat. Carbohydrates are the main thing around workout times that are so important.
And from your take on, say, carbs and carbohydrates, liquid carbs.
Carbs.
Okay, so from a non-diabetic, I try to stay away from the sugary drinks as much as possible. But from a diabetic's point of view, especially type 1, only type 1 I suppose, like Lucozade.
Lucozade. So if your blood sugar, the range they should be falling in is between 5 and 8.
Okay.
If they fall to say 4, it's not the worst, but you need something like a piece of fruit with a bit of fibre to slow the release of sugar into your system, but still to bring your blood sugars back up.
Okay.
If they fall below 4 into the low blood sugar range, then you're working with a fast-acting liquid form of carbs. So that would be like orange juice, apple juice, you got your Lucozade, you have your Powerades, all those kind of sports drinks. But you also need to match that with a slower releasing form of carbohydrates.
Okay.
To balance out the long-term effects, because what happens is if you drink something that's a fast-acting carb, it spikes your blood sugars, they drop straight back down.
Okay, so when they get home, then it could be an even bigger crash.
Absolutely, depending on how fast it comes down for them. But I'd always suggest something maybe like an oat cake with a bit of peanut butter. The fats will slow the release of the oat cake into your system, but the fast-acting will have brought you up enough that they will balance out in the long term.
So over a 4-hour period, it wouldn't have crashed as much. On the point of, I suppose, the sugary... we got into some good stuff here. What would be your go-to cheat meal? What do you like?
For my cheat meal.
So here's the thing: is it a cheat meal, you guys, or is it a cheat day? Now,
that's it. I know.
So we have the clients here. It's Saturday. It's my cheat day. So
I know.
So and that's one of the things we were talking about. Hypothetically speaking, if your calories in for a day should be 2,000, so over a week it's 14,000, and you've been so good throughout the week, you have 1,500, so your calories over a 5-day period could be like, 10,000. But then on the Saturday, you could have effectively 3,500, 4,000 calories, which balances out your whole calories throughout the whole week.
That's only if you're not eating slow.
If you're not absorbing, you must absorb your cheat meal to have the gains. But what's your what is your go-to? Mine, I tell you, mine is. I love a burrito, Mr. Burrito. Oh, gorgeous, Maybe some sweet potato fries.
Stop. I know, and they're so calorific. But my cheat meal. So I have a couple of rules when it comes to cheat meals. I will always extra slow down my eating.
Okay.
Because like that, they're so calorie dense.
Yeah.
And it's like, your body like that as well. If you eat them too quick, you end up stuffed, you know, you're running off to your Mr. Burritos, but slow it down and have your water before and afterwards, not during your meal, again, because that can dilute the nutrients, but I will always go for something like Vietnamese food. I love Vietnamese food. Do you like it?
Yeah. I haven't never tried it.
Really?
No.
It's really, so we went to Berlin at Christmas and there was an amazing Vietnamese restaurant over there, but everything is like cooked in herbs and like coconut oil and
Lovely.
It's really fresh. Now I know you say like cheat meal, probably.
Yeah. It's not what our clients.
I never, do you know what I'm going to
We just want to know, can we have ice cream? Can we have the pizza? Yeah.
Shoot me now.
No, it's just trying to like. My point was asking you that was if you go around any gym in Ireland, or you go into any coach or online coach, and they said to you that they haven't ate bad or haven't had a cheat meal in the past 3 weeks, let alone 3 months, unless they're competing for a competition, or they're lying, because everybody. It's all about the balance. I don't know what you do with your clients, but we have an 80-20 rule here. Yeah. So like 80% of the time you're good, and 20% of the time you can kind of skirt around like what. Now, if you're looking for a goal, and if your goal is specific to that, you might have to change that to a 90-10, or even for the first few weeks, 95, just to give yourself that little bit of a boost. Like there's no point in coming into any new program and thinking that you can get around the nutrition and train more. It doesn't actually work like that. Yeah. Like so. Going all in would be probably detrimental as well, because you'd reverse as soon as there's no habits built up. Like if you went in 100% day one, you'll have no habits built up, and by week 3 you'd be so depressed, you'd be dying, you'd be like, this is miserable, you know what I mean? So initially, we talked about before, build up the habits. And then maybe try to slot into an 80-85%. Now remember, 85% is an A, so if you're getting an A from Monday to Sunday, in my opinion, it's great.
It's like I hate calling it a cheat meal or a cheat meal, because it's food, but it's not the most nourishing food.
No.
So in your brain to tell yourself that I'm treating myself or I'm cheating my diet, it's kind of like I'm falling off lane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, you're still on lane, you're just incorporating.
You were talking before, would you call it a refeed maybe?
Refeed.
It kind of maybe in the head, like kind of.
I just call it like
you're just eating food.
It's a worse option. There's a better option, but you're still eating, but it's not a reoccurring thing all the time. Do you know that kind of way that?
So that's one of the things as well. If you associate like foods with treats, we try to come away from that here as much as possible. But one of the things that pops up a lot of times is what are you going to reward yourself with when you reach your goal? So. We had one of the women in here recently, and she's like, I'm giving up alcohol for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. I said, great, so, but what are you going to reward yourself with? Just to give yourself that little bit of, you've done it. She's like, I'm going to buy a bottle of wine. You know what I mean? So it's detrimental to your, like, what you've just done. So a reward should be, like, for you, it should be, like, maybe invest in your, if you're trying to invest in your, because if you're investing in your health, like, training is, like, a luxury. Not a lot of people in the world can train, so like training for me is a luxury. I love to train, love to keep fit, and people that come here should know, and people like your clients should know that training is a luxury. So when we get to certain goals and stuff like that, it's because of our hard work, our dedication, and because we know that it's a luxury, but we like to get our clients to just to give themselves a little bit of a pat in the back, but not when it comes to like I'm gonna have like a big cheat meal or gonna be So but like because they're like you said should be happening. Part of it, exactly. Well, part of the process,
Like you say, rewarding yourself is so important. Like everybody needs a pat on the back. You need to not be so hard on yourself and do reward yourself. But I always think go back to your goal. What is your goal? If your goal is to lose weight, then why don't you buy yourself like a dress that's a size smaller, or like a pair of pants that are a size smaller, or if you want to gain a bit of extra speed for your matches or your football, or if it's sports specific, get yourself a new pair of shorts or a new pair of boots or a new ball or something. Kick around, but try and make it like it's tied into the goal. As opposed to giving up a bad habit and then rewarding yourself with the bad habit. Then it's like 12 weeks of work gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Like, but again, you're not trying to be 100% perfect. You're trying to be maybe that 80-85%. And that's one of the questions that popped up. Actually, Carmen was asking, what are your go-to snacks, or what do you like to snack on? Do you have any like recipes that you kind of? That's a struggle, because we're all after the initial 4-6 weeks, we're all okay with breakfast, we're all okay with lunch, and we're all okay with dinner. Yeah. So do you count it breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or do you go meal 1, 2, 3, 4, or do you count it as like meal 1, snack, meal 2, meal 3, whatever it may be?
Do you know, I always I tend to get kind of snacky after dinner.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people come in from work and they kind of go, oh, I'm starving, and they eat the house out and then like sit down for their meal. They're like, I'm actually kind of full.
Yeah.
So everybody says to meal prep. And I think it is really important, especially for the meals that you know that, like a lot of people like to make their food fresh, but for the meals you know that you're not going to have a lot of time around.
Yeah.
Meal prep though, so it could be your breakfast. It could be making like a big batch of like a protein smoothie that you're going to have on the go to work or whatever, or your overnight oats. Well, I always meal prep my snacks.
Yeah.
Because snacks is when you're hungry, like when you're kind of picky or like snacky. And sometimes it can be emotional, sometimes it can be boredom.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be genuine hunger, so I like to make sure that my snacks are of much
nutrition
value.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Then my meals are, because, like you say, sometimes it is what you need, or it isn't what you need. If it isn't what you need, at least you're giving yourself good nutrients anyway.
Yeah. So we have clients that would come in and they might train here at 6 o'clock in the morning. They go to work, they travel to work, and then they might be in a meeting from 10 to 4, 10 to 3, whatever it may be, in banks or offices, and the food that comes out for them is sandwiches, biscuits, coffees and teas. Do you have any clients like that? And what would you recommend? All the time, yeah. Do you make your like you can't tell people what to do.
Yeah.
But if I was in that situation, would you try and make your excuses, or take out your packed lunch, or go outside to eat it, or what would you do? Would you always prepare for that?
I would always prepare for that. I would always prepare, because like you say, like eating under stress and stressful conditions, you're not going to be absorbing your food.
Very true, yeah.
So I'd always keep my bigger meals to times when I know I'm not going to be kind of not enjoying my food, because it's important that you're enjoying it.
Of course, yeah.
And for occasions where you may feel a little bit socially awkward about bringing in your own snacks, I bring in like snacks for everyone. Make a giant fruit salad. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, we're going to bring you back here more often. Snacks for everyone. I'm just thinking of one client offhand that from travels, like it takes 2 hours, it takes an hour and a half to get to work and an hour and a half to get home. So that's 3 hours a day, obviously. But leaves the house at 7 in the morning and doesn't get home till 8 at night, and sometimes struggles to train a bit. Yeah. How do you get around that? Like, what would you recommend? Is it all meal preparation?
A lot of it is, and then if it's not, it's going into a supermarket and being aware, familiarise yourself with the better options that are there, because oh my god, there are so much good options out there now. Yeah. Like even Aldi, I'll always go in for my clients, like when I'm doing my own grocery shop, I'm like, that's a great snack idea.
Send it
to them. They even have those like salads in a bag you can make up. Like, okay, they're not organic, they're not fresh, but like they're such a better option than a sandwich that may have been prepped like 3 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. One of my old mentors used to say, shop around the outside of the shop. Like a supermarket, you shop around the outside of the supermarket, everything's fresh. Yeah. Everything in the centre aisles is all the good stuff, all the chocolates and the sweets and the good stuff. So try and avoid those, or try and shop around.
Even like, do you see in Aldi, they do those like vacuum packed, they're already cooked salmon fillets.
No way. Yeah. Oh, I have seen them,
Or they have like haddock as well.
Yeah.
Even like rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Like, you can get a rotisserie chicken, make a chicken curry out of it, you can make a salad out of it, you can make like a chicken and cashew nuts, your own healthy one.
Brilliant.
At home. And it's got you like 3 or 4 or 5 meals, and instead of running to a takeaway because you didn't have time to cook dinner, there's a cooked chicken waiting for you to be eaten up, you know?
Yeah.
And you can pick up your ready-made salad or your, the tossed salad.
Of course.
So it's kind of, I'd always, if you're in a job or like in a situation where you are kind of on the go and you don't have time to be eating good meals, then use that time outside of it, if you're not going to be meal prepping, to look at what good options are out there. Yeah. Make a list of them and then plan them according to what days.
Good thinking. We have a couple of clients in the gym, which is completely fine, that don't have a goal, which is, they don't have a goal, that just want to train. Do you have any clients like that just want to train?
Just want to train,
yeah.
Absolutely.
We go through those phases ourselves, right? That like we may be in a maintenance phase, that we just kind of like, okay, my training program is this, but I'm not looking to put on size, or I'm not looking to get lean, I'm just looking to maintain. Yeah. How do you deal with, not deal with those clients is the wrong term, but what would you say to those clients, like how do they track their food, what to do with their training? Is it like, we all go through those phases, but what would you recommend for those, like maybe that 6-8 week period? 6-8
week period, I'd say to embrace it and enjoy it, because it's 6 to 8 weeks where you're not putting extra pressure on yourself.
Yes.
I'd use that time to get as creative as I can.
Okay.
Be that in the kitchen or be that in the gym.
Lovely.
Trying out new different types of training, trying out new different types of workouts, and maybe picking up a new skill. Like you might, like I know I bought a punching bag the other day, and I'm in bits of it, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm kind of sick of my program at the moment, you know that kind of way. So
change it up.
Breathing for a while.
Yeah. So like with the food, like varieties of spice, but training, yes,
as well. So
that's what we do here a little bit. We change our programs up every 4 weeks. The class programs, because not only do you adapt, but you get bored.
Absolutely.
But you're trying to keep everybody on the toes and trying to make people like motivated as well. Like that 6 to 8 week period kind of helps you regain maybe a little bit of motivation. Yeah.
I actually find when I have a routine, when I'm in in a really busy period, then that's when programs work for me.
Okay.
Because I know what I'm doing on what day. And it's just like regimental.
Yeah.
And then on the times when I'm not as busy, that's when I'm like, oh, creativity, and like I'm going to try new things because I don't want to be following a strict regime.
Yeah. That was actually one of the questions that we were asked about creativity, I suppose. Sarah was saying, like, is there anybody you go to online, like maybe Instagram or Facebook, whatever, mostly Instagram, isn't it? Like Instagram, I sound like my dad there. The Facebook or the emails. Is there anybody that kind of inspires you? Anybody that you follow that gives you tips, like say, whether it be training or snacks or anything that kind of gives you that, oh, I must try that out. Is there anybody online, besides Ignite Health and Fitness, that no, I'm only joking. Like that, no, honestly, that you go to get ideas.
Like I guess I'm so boring, Sean. Like honestly, but I love Charles Poliquin and I love Dr. Serrano and Dr. Fanula McHale. Like I love all them. But I studied with Precision Nutrition and Dr. John Berardi, and they do these like infographics that are really clear and easy to follow and kind of visually appealing. Like I love like things that are colourful and like
it's easy.
You know, after a long day. So I love Precision Nutrition is great. Like all their stuff on it.
So Charles Poliquin was one of my original mentors that I kind of studied, I suppose, under, did his level 1 and level 2, and through the guys at we were talking earlier, the Irish Strength Institute, Owen and John, very good guys. I came across Dr. Eric Serrano, and if there's one guy that can break it down for you, it's him. But there's those two guys. I'm trying to think who was the other one I was talking about. I can't think off the top of my head, but there's always kind of go-tos. Yeah.
And even for like I love like obviously Rosanna Purcell and Rosanna Davison and all them, but they are very plant-based. I have absolutely nothing against plant-based, but I think that like milk is getting a really bad reputation at the moment, and really like it's another wholesome food. It's natural. It's organic. It's just pay heed to all these kind of expensive recipes that are.
But pay heed to like if you have milk, how you feel after it. Like it's like you talked about earlier on, is how you feel after you have these foods. It's exactly. It comes a little bit more individual.
And I even love saying to my clients like things like with recipes. If you haven't got something on the ingredient list, try to get creative and throw something else in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where I would fall down. It's a creativity. What's that guy just throwing in stuff randomly?
I know.
But there's some really cool guys that and on these on our talk we're going to be putting in some infographics. So like you said, Dr. Fanula McHale, she's Irish, really good girl to follow, and Sigma Nutrition, Danny Lennon. Like Danny is a wealth of knowledge, but what Danny does really, really well is he makes it simple. And he talks to a lot of people throughout the world and gets their opinion on certain stuff. So he'd be a good guy to follow as well. We might throw some of his graphs in, and we'll tag him. Don't worry. But that's what we're talking about as well. There's nothing like that. I suppose it's taking what you like and what works from other people, and then see if it works with your clients. And it's similar to with your clients as well. It's similar with you guys listening today. What works for you? Like there's not one mold fits all. When you come into Ignite, we might tell you how to work out calories, which is great. The Precision Nutrition to try to show you how to the hand portion size, which is great. But then you have to see what works for you. Is it going to be what's going to be longevity? Like what's going to work over a long period of time? If tracking calories works for you, by all means do it. If MyFitnessPal, if that works for you, if the hand portions work for you. If training 4 times a week or 5 times a week works for you, it's what works for you long term. What are you going to stick to? It would be the main point that I suppose out of all these talks that we're going to be doing is what is easy for you to stick to over a time period, and then what's fun. Because it shouldn't be a chore. Like training, like we said, it should be fun, and it is a bit of a luxury. Training, it should be fun, but foods. When I see food coming in, like sometimes we get our clients to send pictures of food, and I see like a chicken breast with a bit of broccoli, I'm just like, oh my God, like what are you doing? Like it should be colourful. It should have loads of colours in it, and it shouldn't be too. You know who you are, by the way. It should like if when you go to a restaurant, if you got a chicken breast with a bit of broccoli, you'd be like, where's the rest of it? Or where's the tomatoes? Or yes,
so much.
Yeah.
And like for example, my dad, he's kind of like, oh, another one of these healthy recipes she's doing, bloody hell. It's such a I think it's a man thing. But, like for Pancake Tuesday, for example, I was like, grand, I'm going to try out these new protein pancakes. But the way I dressed them up, so I did 2 scoops of protein powder, and I did 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 eggs, and 6 tablespoons of water.
Right.
And they made these like they were strawberry flavored protein, and it made gorgeous pancakes. But I stacked them up and put like soya almond yogurt in the middle, and flaxseed and almonds and blueberries and strawberries. Go check out my Instagram.
That little stuff. We have that recipe here as well.
If I told my dad what was in them, he'd be like, not a chance.
Yeah.
Stack them up in front of him. He's like, they look amazing, try them. It's like, that's gorgeous. So sometimes if you're scared of something, like it's really important to get like creative in the kitchen and to eat with your eyes and to make everything as tasty looking.
Yeah, exactly. It's going back to the supplement thing as well. There was a thing on RTE News there a while back. It said like if you take omega-3 fish oils, you are, I think it's 43% more likely to go to college than you do if you don't. Wow. So my dad was saying, get your sister a box of those, you know, where for years you would have been supplementing with them anyway. Like, but it's just, I suppose it's maybe a little bit of fear of the unknown as well. What we don't know scares us, not just us, everybody. Like, so like, if you think you're putting stuff into it, I wouldn't like that, and he tastes it like, oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
but it's a trial and error as well comes. But the main thing is what I want to take from today. So I want to thank Leah. She bringing a wealth of knowledge. Get over and follow her page, and I got her name right this time, Leah Hayden. Hayden, sorry if I had it. And the main thing is I taken from what Leah said today is to enjoy your training, enjoy your food, and life as well. It shouldn't be too stressful, and take, I know it's an old saying, take each day as it comes, but what my point from that is that build up your habits and take your habits each day as it comes to get to where it is you don't so you're not thinking about that they're habits, so to become part of your daily life. And Leah, you want to say before we go?
Yeah, like I want to finish up and wrapping it up on 4 points that I think are the basis of all diets and nutrition and training as well. So just, like I said, just peel it back to basics and tune in, right? So just think about how you're eating, slowing it down, eating to 80% full, tuning into your hunger and your satiety. From there, base all your foods off whole foods as much as you can. Then we're going to incorporate that we're going to have less nutritional deficiencies. Yep. If we're still, like I say, incorporating fish oils, our probiotics and our multivits.
Yep.
And if you're still feeling run down, go to the doctor and get checked, because it's just like, sometimes you can do your best, but sometimes you just need that extra hand too.
Yeah.
And then number 4 is incorporating the movement, because movement is what helps everything else flow. So, like, John, thanks for having us today.
Great stuff.
Really appreciate it, and thanks, guys.